Hey guys, Stealth here and welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. Today we're following along with Darth Vendar's campaign. King of the Sea, a massive naval battle as we continue Austro Hungarian's campaign. The Austro Hungarian fleet will now face off against the French Atlantic fleet with a pair of battleships and the escaped battlecruiser from the last battle. Now in case you want to know how the last battle went down, linked down below in the description is a playlist where you can see all the different scenarios that were part of this chain. The backstory. Otto von Habsburg sends his highest regards to you, Admiral. With a much smaller fleet, you have devastated the French Mediterranean fleet. However, you allowed some to escape, especially an undamaged battlecruiser. While many of the smaller vessels were damaged and are now trapped in their French ports, no longer an issue. The battlecruiser and several other undamaged ships have regrouped with the Atlantic fleet, which will only make things more difficult. Regardless, you must take the Miklos Horthy and your fleet to devastate the French Atlantic fleet and make your way towards the Baltics. We will be resupplying you as you move and hopefully you will not run out of ammunition this time. There will be no reinforcements. Decide how much you wish to take into battle. What you can see listed on the screen here on the left is the maximum number of ships that I can take into battle. The Miklos Horthy is paramount. It has to go into battle. That's the battle cruiser. I'm going to be redesigning the one that I did previous. Aside from that, I'm going to go with a smaller section again. 5 and 5, because 10 heavy cruisers and 10 light cruisers is just tough to manage. Especially considering that the formation bug is still there. And means that formations, well, they just don't work very well. And since they don't work very well, I have more micromanagement on my hands. So, time to design the ship. Something that can take on the battleships and the battlecruiser, but actually not that much design because I'm going to be copying a previous design. Because this one is exactly specified. It is 47,000 tons. Let's see, he wrote everything down in the scenario. Speed 30 knots. 30 knots. 30.5, 30 knots. Range, medium, bulkheads, many. Turbines, 2. I had induced boilers. I think I was using oil. Auxiliary, 2. Shaft, 2. Croup, 4. Barbette, 2. Anti-torp, 3. Single double bottom. Reinforced bulkheads, 2. Anti-flood, 3. Citadel, turtleback, so that's 4. I went with super heavy shells. Increased complement of ammo. No torpedoes because I wasn't using any of those. High TNT for propulsion. Advanced hydraulic turrets and autoloaders. Generation 2 radar. And a Stereo 5 rangefinder. Then, onto the belt, that was 12.6. This was a really heavy battlecruiser. Belt extended was 6 inches. Deck was 4.7. Deck extended 1.5. I didn't really have a lot of that. Conning tower, 13.8. 13.8. Turret armor was 14.2. Damn, I turtled that thing up pretty bad. Turret top armor is 5.9. And secondaries were also 5.9. Now, it's going to be the same ship that you have seen before. She had a couple of 9-inch guns to back up her main armament, which was going to be 15-inch guns. Modern main tower 2, check. Light secondary tower, and I had a mega funnel 3 somewhere, I think, over there. Okay then, the main guns. We had these on some barbettes, I think. We could put that over there and that over. Let's spin that round. Press R to rotate stuff. Standard barbette. Standard barbette. Secondary, or sorry, mainline guns. 15-inch dual. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then she had 9-inch dual barrels. Yeah, on the turrets there and there. Secondaries were 9 triple 4-inch guns. recall having one of them on there. One, two, three, four, 5. It's too many. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, actually, it's enough. 9 triple 3-inch check. I had 2 triple 2-inch over here, I think, because that would give them the best field of fire. And then 4 dual 2-inch guns. 1, 2, 3, 4 dual. Yeah, there we go. Okay, and that exactly maxes out the ship. Unfortunately, I have to relocate some of the stuff because I didn't quite get the balancing right. Oh, this is going to be annoying, isn't it? This is going to be annoying. Because what I need to do now is shift the secondary turret, or the secondary barbette. And then remove these. Shift this. Remove those, put these back on. Shift the main tower slightly back. And bring this one slightly further in. Is that it? Yeah, that's not bad. I'm going to put these ones slightly farther out so they have better turning. And I removed some of my, what was it, dual 2-inch or triple 2-inch? I'm supposed to have 9... check. Yeah, I removed some of these up here. There we go. And we're going to rename it. This is not the Dromedar. This is the Miklos Horthy. There. In the previous video of this series, that was called the Wanna Bismarck, or the Wannabe Bismarck. Okay, let's take this thing to the fight and hope that she can take on the battleships as needed. 270 shells per gun should do it. And we'll just have to see what the AI generates for the enemy. As I was looking over the scenario, I saw that I misspelled Miklos Horthy. The accent is supposed to be on the O in Miklos, not on the I as I did it. Okay, we're having our work cut out for us right here. 2 French battleships need sinking, a battlecruiser, a whole bunch of heavies, a couple of lights, and some destroyers. Starting range 38,000 meters. So initial accuracy is not going to be great. But that does give me some time to get myself acquainted with my own fleet. We have the heavy cruiser class. Okay. 8-inch guns, not bad. Maximum bulkheads, I like that. Good speed. We have some torpedoes here. And auxiliary 4, that's good. Anti-flood 2. Yeah, I can work with these. I want all the heavy cruisers in one formation though. So you guys join this one, don't screen, just follow. And you're gonna follow the battlecruiser, check. Then our light cruisers, Kufstein, Siegert, Wels and Stor. And these have minimum bulkheads, not so great. Quite a few torpedo launchers, but they're very visible. So this is one of those sort of suicide torpedo attacks again. You don't get into range. And even if you do get into range, you're going to get killed off. So not that likely to work. These I want all in one div. Wait. You're not supposed to be in that div. Neither are you. There we go. Alright, I want all of you to go on a normal formation, and I want you to follow the heavy cruiser group. Them. So you're going to be following the heavy cruisers, you're going to be following the battlecruiser, and until we find the enemy, this is going to be fine. Destroyers. Minimum bulkheads. Yikes. Turning circle is okay. Speed is okay. 2 torpedo tubes. These are sneaky things. At a decent range. But not terribly optimistic about this design. Alright, let's see if we can get a contact with the enemy. The DDs are going to move out first. There goes one of the Striders, the other Striders turning. It's going to be a bit of mayhem as the ships are all trying to find their position. Let's slow you down some so the rest of your formation can keep up. Sort of. What the fuck? Over here, guys. What the hell? I know the formation system is a bit broken, but this is another level. Oh no. Okay, so we got the Klosterneuburg, then the Villach, then the Wolfsburg, which is currently doing donuts around the wells. Then the Miskolc, and finally the Budapest. Gentlemen, line up. Alright, the enemy has spotted my destroyers. It's probably not great news for the DDs, because that spotting currently works one way. I don't see them. Light cruisers, let's not do the follow thing, because it doesn't seem to want to work too well. So just move towards the Miklos, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, at least the heavy cruisers are starting to line up. The Kloster, the Villach, Wolfsburg. There's the last one. And then the store is leading this one. Yeah. Very good. Alright, DDs, you're getting under attack. Let's not have that happen, or at least not too badly. Smoke up. I really am curious to see where they are. About 18 clicks out. And they seem to be heading west. Okay, let's turn the Miklos Horthy that way as well, because we are going to need those guns. I want you to stay dark for now, so that I can dictate exactly who I want to shoot at. Because last time around I ran out of ammunition, and that's bad news. The objective, by the way, for this battle is very simple and straightforward. Decimate the enemy fleet, or devastate. It didn't say decimate, it just said devastate, so do as much damage as you can. Or at least that's how I'm reading it. Heavy cruisers that way, light cruisers that way. You know what, let these guys shoot at the DDs for a bit. They don't exactly have the survivability, if at all. But at least it gives me some indication of what they're shooting, which is at least some ships with 8-inch guns. Assumedly the heavy cruisers. And it also means that they have less ammo available for the rest of my fleet. Enemy smoke northwest. Yep. They've now selected the second target. I don't get it. Do we really not have radar? We've got a Generation 1 radar on here. Oh. Oh. Okay. 17-inch guns on one of the battleships or battlecruiser. So that's quite a lot of firepower, and that can pretty easily devastate my battlecruiser as well. Despite her Bismarck-esque design and survivability, 17-inch guns are no joke. Smokescreen up. I didn't even see the guys there. Oh, come on. Increase speed. I want to find them. There we are. What you got? DDs. Is that enough funnel for you? Torpedo tubes. 1, 2, 3, 4 turrets. 4-inch. Oh no. We got one salvo on the DDs. That is all. One salvo. I was going to say make it count, but it's not likely. So, you are the one that's been lobbing 17-inch ammo at me. 12 17-inch guns. This is the French Atlantic Fleet. And they come bearing big guns. So, that's going to be some work. At least, that's what I think now. Whether this thing has a lot of bulkheads, I don't know. It might not have. Zigzag. And maybe zigzag away from the enemy. Open fire against that DD. I'm also trying to use the DDs as torpedo bait, so that the enemy DDs don't go after my main battleship or battlecruiser. That's a light cruiser. Here, what do you have? You have 12 6-inch guns. Holy shit. This thing is packed to the gills with 3-inch guns. Look at that. This is a DD nightmare, this thing. Visible torpedo tubes? None. Okay. Oh wow, we did our first bit of damage here. Against the enemy destroyer. Still pretty much nothing, but okay. If I fire a salvo with the battleship, 2.1% chance to hit. Considering the serious amounts of ships that I need to sink, I think I might need to save my ammo on the Battlecruiser to deal with the battleships. Meaning that... well... let's just keep the DDs in a permanent slow circle. Just distracting the enemy. Meaning that I don't have that many salvos available for target practice on various other ships. Some damage, little flooding. These things might prove to be very sturdy, their DDs. 19%, 22%. Oh, that's the battlecruisers. Battlecruiser, singular. 8 14-inch guns, 1 dual 6, a bunch of 4s, some 8s. It's like they threw everything on this ship that they had lying around. That's a lot of different calibers. 14, 6, 4, 8, and a couple of 2s. Okay. Ah. We have hit them. Damaged their stern slightly. It's just the opening salvo. Aha. We got the French DDs identified. Oh, crap. Not sure which one you're torping. I cannot take any chances here. Lance Canet. Very sneaky torpedoes. Very, very sneaky. They're only 19-inch. But that does not mean that they can immediately obliterate a destroyer, because my destroyers don't do very well against torpedoes. Do we have hydro? Sonar 3. That's even better. Target that warship. I think it's a light cruiser. Let's not be picky about whether it's moving or not. If it's there, if it's steady, if it's easy to kill, we're gonna do it. Pretty easy. Because I'm impacted by the formation bug. And that made me not pick that many ships. But so are they. There we go. It really didn't like that. That was a full stern deck extended pen for almost 1500 damage. And it looks to be crippling. Not deadly, but crippling. Another fire. I think high explosive might be sufficient against this thinly skinned light cruiser. Took a hit. Ooh, that was a high explosive hit. 1600 damage. Tore open the ship, and she's gone. First blood to the Austro Hungarian Navy. No, actually not. Not really. Because I kind of discounted the fact that I already lost a destroyer. I might have overlooked that. Heavy cruisers, we're going to thin their ranks a bit. How are we doing on the identification here? 75, 58. So we still don't know enough about them. Destroyers, what's your range? 18.7. Right. That's not good enough. It's not uncommon for this destroyer group to be, well, maybe useful somewhat later into the game, but early on, not very. want you guys turning that way. Oh, gentlemen, are you... Reduced ammo for shells. Only fire when you have a good solution then. When you have a good chance to hit. Otherwise, it's just going to be a waste of shells and you're going to be running out soon. Whereas those 8-inch guns could be so useful. Now, the secondary armament of the Miklos is not great. I only have 4-inch guns. They can engage targets at around 10 kilometers out. So everything at the moment is out of range. They do a decent amount of damage against destroyers and light cruisers alike, but that is the extent of it. Their heavy cruisers will have to get killed off by my heavy cruisers or my battlecruiser. So far, I'm still not seeing any torpedoes, which is promising. Is this thing still smoking? No, it's not. Target this one with the mains. Whoa, that's a good accuracy. 13% on an opening salvo. I like it. Yeah, see, these things do not have visible torpedo tubes, but they have some torpedo tubes. And the Aigle just torpedoed me. Turn. We got the Magenta battleship. Minimum bulkheads. Oh, this is going to be substantially easier now. And they're also not quick. So that means if I flood them, they will die. 45% chance to pen. We have options now. Target the Magenta with your main armament. Secondaries are fine to deal with the destroyer, even though the Aigle officially isn't that much of a risk anymore. I'm still not seeing any torpedo threat here. %, almost 10% chance to hit. And then we have to run through their armor, which is another 45% chance to pen. Yeah, we slightly hit them. Partial pen. Anti-flood on these is 2 with an auxiliary 1 engine. Translation, they're not very good at getting rid of water. Once these things start flooding, it's bad news for them. Loncanet ran out of torpedoes. Miklos, we're going to turn again. Because the chance of you getting torpedoed is too great. Now what we got back here is the heavy cruiser group. This is going to be a long battle. And asking one battlecruiser to deal with all of this, with some light support from a bunch of heavy cruisers with a reduced complement of ammo, is optimistic at best. Problematic at worst, because I will not have either the survivability on my ship, or I'll start to struggle with the amount of shells that I need. Or both. These heavy cruisers chance to pen? Terrible. Okay, I can safely ignore the heavy cruisers. I'm really hoping that I can cause this thing to start flooding, because those 17-inch guns are scary. They have a really good chance to do a lot of damage to my ship. Whereas if I pen the Magenta and her sister ship, which is yet to be identified, I can probably easily sink them swiftly. And then I'll start to pick out this fleet one by one. Hold on, Villach detected torpedoes. Ooh, look at that. Bow deck extended, 294 damage. That was an immediate 15% chunk of my hit points. I don't really have too much to show for it. The Wolfsburg detected torpedoes. Hold on a moment. What are you powered by? Diesel? Gear turbines, not good. No, you're fine. You're fine. This is gonna get close. No, I'm gonna get hit. Which div are you? Div 6. Join. 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 And join. There. Good lord, there's a lot of stuff out there. Maybe open up the distance a bit. Chance to pen is getting better though. They still have plenty of ammo, so waiting out their ammo is not going to work. My DD got hit? Rip. That's the DD gone. Here's my light cruiser group. That's more of a joke than anything else. Okay, flooding. What got you? You got chunked again. Mid-deck penetration. Belt armor and such is good, but the rest, not very. Oh, we got the Battlecruiser here. These guys in some sort of weird embrace. Maximum bulkheads. That Battlecruiser, the Grand Saint-Louis, has more displacement than their battleship, yet smaller guns. And maximum bulkheads means it's going to be tricky to sink her. Putting it mildly. I really don't think this is going to work well. Oh, I accidentally hit the Battlecruiser. Magenta has taken some flooding, but not that much. Just took another chunk. 37 damage only. But it's starting to add up. My torpedo range is pretty terrible. My light cruisers also had torpedoes, but they were the suicide kind. Like, get in there and... Oh, sorry, that's the heavy cruisers. The lights... here. 10 kilometer range. So, my chance to hit that is really poor. That's putting it kindly. DD, smoke. Light cruisers not actively under attack. Another 224 point damage hit. Magenta is suffering from some flooding, but it does not seem to be that poorly yet. These DDs. Alright, you know what? We're just gonna send out some torpedoes here. Might work, it might not, we'll see. I want you to target that one. I want you to target that one. We're gonna send the whole group this way. I want you to target that one. You to target this one, and we're going to go with aggressive torpedo launch. It's only 2 torpedoes per DD, but I'd rather use them than half these go down with the ship, because that would be a big waste of torps. And I don't really care if they're going to be in or out of range. I just want those torpedoes in the water. %57% structural remaining on this ship. Magenta is still flooding. Oh, come on. Okay, there we go. We have torpedo launch from the Streiter. The main Streiter, that is. The D5, for some reason, is not responding to torpedoes attacks. Or to my orders to launch torpedoes. It's probably because they're not close enough yet. Chance to hit's pretty damn bad. How are the heavy cruisers doing? Humor me. No, don't humor me. That's a terrible chance to hit. Or to pen, rather. Another hit, but no flooding. Come on. You can at least kill one battleship. Least. Kill the Magenta. Flood her. The light cruisers might come under attack now. Our torpedo range is only 10. I'm going to try and cut into the formation of the Saint Louis. Probably at the expense of most of my ships. Most of my light cruisers. But at this point, I'd rather just use them. The situation's pretty dire. Damage. Wow, we're slightly ahead on damage, but it's probably because I managed to get a couple of really good blows in against their... what was it? Against their light cruiser. Oh shit. D5 detected torps. Oh no. That's going to impact the D5. And potentially the light cruisers. Okay, you're okay. You're gonna pass, you're gonna pass, you're going to hit the Kufstein. Or are you? No, you're not. You're not going to hit the Kufstein. Good. Rejoin your light cruiser group. Just follow behind the Shamals. Ah, come on. The Magenta is getting hit, but not flooded. Her buoyancy is back up to 90%. And the Streiter D5 over here. Well, I was going to say it's not launching torpedoes, but that's supposedly the least of her worries. Let's see, are you in torpedo range? You are. You're going to target that one. You're going to target the Tourville. 9.9. You're not going to target the Tourville. Aggressive torpedo launch. Mykolos is down to 800 shells at this point. Come on, get that hit. What the hell? Detach yourself from the division, please, because you're kind of holding up the rest of them. The problem is, I kind of need my ships alive. And I rather don't expect that to be happening. The thing is, the next part of the scenario chain will require that I have these ships in one piece. But the destroyers, they're definitely not going to survive. The Battlecruiser is iffy, at best. And the light cruisers are probably going to be toast, because they cannot survive. So at this point I'm just throwing out torpedoes and hoping that I accidentally catch something. Oh, these things are terrible. Oh, you got hit by 2 torpedoes, did you? That's bad news. For you. Store and the wells are flooding. Ow. I'm presenting too much broadside here. Magenta's to 55. We're gonna need more than that. Torpedo hits. We are catching some of these seemingly unaware and inflicting some torpedo damage. But they just have too many ships. Ceasefire. We're going to push right in. There we go. Torpedoes hit on the Admiral Aube. Done. Reduce their numbers somewhat. Shamos. Possibly too far away. Aggressive launch. Smoke up the light cruisers. Kufstein. Target. Aggressive launch. Just everybody aggressively send out torpedoes. I don't care if you hit. But these things are... Well, they're fast. They're easy to spot. But they seem to hit. Oh shit. The Miklos is getting butchered. Magenta is... Well... Not budging, I suppose. The DDs... Yeah, I think it's safer to pull the DDs out than to try and have them engage again, since they mostly have 2 torpedoes, if that. So their ability to actually inflict any kind of damage is severely reduced. Alright, you guys, I want you to detach. You and you, you're going to work together. Hold on, you are... There, yes, good. I want you to work together. The Villach and the Klosterneuburg. I'm trying to get closer to the enemy and thereby doing some more damage using either torpedoes or main guns, because at range the main guns don't do much and I don't have the ammo to play around. Magenta is completely dry. She's completely safe. Torpedoes? Nowhere to be found. Oh, here they are. Some of them. Tourville detected torpedoes. I'm not the only one using torpedoes, it seems. See, this ship has inflicted a lot of damage so far. But I don't have much to show for it, aside from the killing of 1 light cruiser. Target this one and open fire. Use those 8-inch guns and let's see if we can at least kill another light cruiser. Their heavy cruisers don't use torpedoes. And are not particularly well armored against torpedoes, so I might be able to kill those with the torpedo tubes. But only if I get close enough. How are you doing, buddy? Seriously blackened. Seriously damaged. We had some massive impacts here. I think I should be glad that the main turrets are still functional. Ship is listing to starboard severely. We hit the Magenta again. No flooding. We're just kind of reducing her to half health. At least we're inflicting some damage on the Davout here. Many bulkheads. We got port side, torpedo launcher, starboard side, and 2 on the deck. Okay. The amount of shells that these guys are getting hit by is serious. 3,800 shells were fired in their direction. 4,200 were firing at the Horthy. So that's even worse. Your torpedoes are bow stern? Bow only? How did you balance that ship out? You didn't though, did you? That's the deal. You didn't balance it out. Or not very well. Pretend you're on this ship and this is what you see ahead of you. Several contacts, smoke screens on the horizon, a severely badly damaged light cruiser for the French that you're currently engaging. At this point it doesn't really matter which direction you shoot in, because you're bound to hit something anyway. And it's a bit sad that my heavy cruisers are, in essence, fulfilling a light cruiser, or sorry, a battleship role. I.e. pushing in and tanking a ton of damage. Where are the other ones? Here. I'm hoping I can kill the Gabion before she launches torpedoes in my way. Yeah, that helps. Fire all the guns at the Gabion if you aren't already. What's your chance to pen with the Pi-Ho? 30%? Light cruisers, 27%? Pretty good. Oh, this thing is going to get extensive fires soon. Yep, more fires. She's going to burn. I mean, she's already burning, but as we've seen in a previous vid, if you have extensive fires and you still have structural integrity and you cannot put the fires out, you're done. You are just toast. Well, toast is what they probably already are. Keeping an eye on the survivability of the Miklos, but she's currently... Oh shit, son. Yep, just before she went down, she decided to send out some gifts. Unfortunately for you, I have some experience torpedo beating. New target, the Pi-Ho. And we're going to run out of ammo in about a minute or 3. $9,200 shots? Whoa. They are seriously trying to kill this heavy cruiser. And seriously failing at it too. Torpedo launcher starboard, away. Doesn't look good though. That heavy cruiser is going to dodge that. But I have some more. The subsurface launchers. Oh, that was a 17-incher. This is not helpful. Klosterneuburg's falling back. The Villach is perfectly fine. All the attention that the Klosterneuburg drew did not go to the Villach. Jesus, they were so focused on killing that ship. Where's their battleship? Ah, the Magenta is starting to flood now. Not doing too hot. Good. There we go. Heavy cruiser down. These heavy cruisers are absolute badasses. The way that they're pushing in and doing a ton of damage. Damage to the Tourville? How? You got in the way. The Tourville happened to be in front of the Magenta as I was targeting that one. Alright. Well, that's your mistake. Chanzy is dead. D'Estrée. Damn, don't mess with the Austro Hungarian heavy cruisers, because they are not taking any shit from anyone. And they're taking fire from 6-inch guns and 8-inch guns. It's not like these heavy cruisers have small guns. Ooh, ammo detonation on the D'Estrée. 17-inch shells are now hitting the Villach as well. That is unfortunate, but I think this thing has already earned its keep. There we go, 2.6k damage dealt, 651 taken. Flash fire, D'Estrée sunk. Next target, Mot Piquet. We have 109 shells left. I intend to have them used up by the time that either the ship sinks or the enemy dies. We're gonna see which happens first. Oh, hold on a moment. Cluster, I have one job for you, and that's to kill this one. You guys can also start to pitch in against the lav over there. Nicholas, your distance 21. Okay, keep going. Ooh, Villach. At this point, you might not survive it. Although you're not exactly getting your ammo exploded like the Mod Piquet is. So that's beneficial. We're almost on top of the Magenta at this point. Torpedo the Magenta if you can. Port launchers. Because they're pretty sneaky. And the Magenta is not very well suited to taking torpedo hits. Yep, port side torpedo launchers away. Forgot about this encounter. Torpedo, starboard side again. No, hold. Lav will flood. Cluster Neuberg, you have torpedoes. We're going to use those against the Marseillaise. Lav is down. The Mod Piquet is dodging the torpedo. These heavy cruisers are phenomenal. 23,000 damage done, 12,000 taken, and they're still fighting. And of course, that's not strictly the heavy cruisers. But the Villach, for example, has done 4,400 damage at this point. I consider that very substantial for a heavy cruiser. A little heavy cruiser that could. Ah, Magenta's turning. And the Marseillaise is running away, but not before taking quite a bit of flooding. Cluster Neuberg, we still have 93 shells, and you still have 37. Well, I thought that I was going to empty out the magazine before I was going to go down, but I didn't quite get around to doing that. We have 35 shells left. That's all. And the French are short a few more ships. Finish off the Marseillaise. Don't think that she has the capability to survive for much longer, because that flooding is overwhelming her. Done. Torpedo hit on the Magenta. You actually pulled it off? That's incredible. How did you not see those? Or did you overcorrect by any chance? What's your distance? 19. Miklas so far does not seem to be the attention of the French anymore. There's the Saint-Louis, there's their other battleship, and there's the Battlecruiser. 390 shells, 632. Hoping that they run out of ammo is not a viable tactic. Ah, damn it. Come on. Get rid of it. Fire and flooding, yes. Port side torpedo launchers against that battleship, please. I don't care how solid you are with your torpedo solution, we just need to send those weapons out. Starboard side against the Palestro. Oh, the Cluster Neuberg is going to inflict another bunch of damage here. If it's up to me anyway. There goes the light cruiser. Torpedoes away. Yeah, you're gonna be in trouble. Torpedoes hit. 2 more torpedoes from the bow launchers. Sorry, from the midships launchers. And the Palestro is turning the wrong way. Good night. That's gonna flood you. Budapest, this is not a perfectly suitable time to turn around. Because at this rate, you're exposing yourself to some serious 17-inch firepower that I'm sure the French are eager to introduce you with, but that you won't survive. I really want this battleship dead. It feels like I've fired 600, 700 shells at it so far, and I have very little to show for it. That's pretty sad. At least it's not quick. Magenta's doing 8 knots. Miskolc is coming in at 30 knots. 33 knots, in fact. It's one of the last surviving heavy cruisers. No, shit. 19-inch torpedoes only, though. Torp. Come on. Come on. Launch it. Single torp away. Sub-deck launchers away. Turn hard to port. Miklos, ceasefire. Because so far you haven't really done much. I'm going to try and turn the Miskolc around massively to port, and thereby opening up the starboard launchers to the Tourville. It's going to be her last trick. I hope. She just needs to survive long enough to pull it off. In the meanwhile, she's landing 3 torps on the Magenta. 1, 2, 3. We've launched one of the torps against the Tourville. Come on! There's nothing left of this ship. Well, that was a serious blow. That was 559 points of damage. And flooding. It might just be enough. These are some heavy cruisers that punched way above their weight class. Structural damage to the cluster Neuburg overwhelmed her. Whatever happened to the light cruisers? Ah. Right. Not much. I'm going to continue shelling the Magenta a bit more, and then probably just disengaging with the ship. Because I think I'd rather keep this thing alive and have done a lot of damage to the smaller ships of the fleet than lose the battlecruiser. Unfortunately, our pen chance is still not good. How much armor do you have? 11.6 on the belt, 6 on the deck. It's not terribly impressive. But it's definitely good enough. Switch to high explosive for a bit. I doubt we can burn them down, but it's more effective than having armor piercing just bounce off. There goes the Budapest. More fires. I'm trying to... Oh, another torpedo hit from a heavy cruiser. From the Budapest. I'm trying to take out their structure so that I can reduce their damage control capabilities. Ow. Their secondary tower has taken some damage. Structural integrity 27. Buoyancy 30-ish. Armor piercing now. Come on. What's your angle? Oof. Not great. For me, anyway. They're perfectly well angled. They're firing those guns over their shoulder. This is gonna be pretty much a no-go. Oh, hold on, I got the Wolfsburg left? Ah, right, you're the damaged cruiser that I pulled off the line. That makes sense. Uh-oh. I got hit pretty bad, and I'm starting to flood. I think it's time for me to go. Oof. We've hit and damaged their... What's that? Their A and X turret. We've been firing at this battleship for about 2 hours now. On and off. But the damage is just not there. Yeah, we're gonna have to fall back. If I still can. I'm gonna proclaim this one to be a loss. I couldn't complete this. Not against battleships that had 17-inch guns and with heavy cruisers. Well, with heavy cruisers that did not have enough ammo. And light cruisers that did not have any survivability. And destroyers that did not have any torpedoes. Some of these factors didn't quite help with my ability to win this fight. So, unfortunately, we did not finish off the French Mediterranean fleet. And we also did not finish off the French Atlantic fleet. So that means we have some issues. And I don't know how that's going to translate into the next scenario. Maybe, considering the build, of course, for the heavy cruisers, I should have gone with 10 of those. Because that might have helped me. Kind of. If I'd had a lot more of those heavy cruisers, I could have just bludgeoned my way through the division. And maybe won. Anyway, I'm calling it here. No joy for taking out the French Atlantic fleet. How that's going to translate into the next scenario, that is going to be up to Darth Vendar. To check out the other scenarios, have a look at the description. There's a link to the playlist there with some, let's say, more successful battles. Hope you guys enjoyed the battle. Thank you for watching. Let's celebrate the heavy cruisers and, well, have another go in another video. See you guys then.